Eloquent English. Unlock the power of fluent English.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to The Eloquent English, the English podcast where learning meets life's journey. Unlock your potential, one episode at a time. We're happy to have you with us again. I'm Carl, and today we're diving into a game-changing strategy that can transform the way you approach your day.
And I'm Helen. Picture this. You wake up, brush your teeth, pour yourself a coffee, and next thing you know, you've completed 3 tasks without even thinking about them. Now imagine if you could harness that same flow to tackle your goals.
Exactly. That's what today's topic is all about, habit stacking. It's a simple but powerful technique that piggybacks on your existing habits to help you build new ones effortlessly.
Let's face it, whether we like it or not, we are creatures of habit. The question is, are your habits helping you or are they holding you back? You could be better, don't you think?
True, but here's the good news. Habit stacking isn't about overhauling your life overnight. It's about small, intentional actions that add up to big changes over time. And guess what? You're already halfway there because you already have habits. This episode is going to show you how to use the habits you already have to create the ones you want. Ready to unlock your full potential?
So what exactly is habit stacking? It's a concept that's as straightforward as it sounds. You take a habit you're already doing and stack a new one onto it. By linking the two, you're leveraging the power of routine to make the new habit stick.
For instance, let's say every morning, like clockwork, you brew yourself a cup of coffee. That's your existing habit. Now imagine adding a new habit. Let's say journaling for 5 minutes, immediately after. Before you know it, you'll associate brewing coffee with picking up your journal, and it will feel natural, like the two belong together.
The beauty of habit stacking is its simplicity. You're not creating a new time slot in your day or trying to force yourself to remember something out of the blue.
Right. You're simply building on what's already there. It's like using a sturdy ladder to reach new heights instead of trying to jump up on your own.
What's exciting about habit stacking is its versatility. You can apply it to anything, learning a language, staying fit, getting organized, or even improving relationships. In the next section, we'll explore why this technique is so effective and how it taps into the psychology of habit formation.
So why does habit stacking work so well? Well, it all comes down to how our brains are wired. When we repeat a behavior enough times, it becomes automatic, a habit. This automatic behavior uses less mental energy, which means our brains can focus on other things. Habit stacking taps into this natural process by linking a new action to an existing habit that your brain already recognizes.
It's like your brain already has a shortcut for the first habit, so adding a new habit right after means you're using the same shortcut. Less effort, more success.
Exactly. Psychologists call this a cue routine reward loop. The existing habit acts as the cue, which triggers the routine, or the new habit, and then you get a reward, usually a feeling of satisfaction or progress. This loop helps make habits stick. When you build a habit stack, you're basically creating a strong chain of actions. Each habit becomes a link that supports the next one. If one link is strong, the whole chain becomes more powerful. This is why small changes matter. A tiny habit can lead to a bigger one, and then to another, building momentum over time.
And the best part is you don't need willpower to force yourself to remember or want to do the new habit. The cue from the previous habit reminds your brain automatically, so it's much easier to keep going.
Right. You're not relying on motivation alone, which can come and go like the weather. Habit stacking builds routines that work even when you're tired or distracted. Another reason habit stacking works is because it fits into your existing day without making it feel more complicated. Instead of thinking about adding a new habit as a big change, it's just a small step added to something you already do. This helps reduce resistance and makes the change feel natural.
Plus, it's flexible. You can start with very tiny habits that only take a minute or two, then grow them bigger as you get comfortable. For example, stacking a 1-minute stretch after brushing your teeth, then slowly increasing to a 5-minute routine.
That slow growth means you won't feel overwhelmed or fail quickly. It's about steady progress that feels doable every day. In fact, many successful people use habit stacking without even realizing it. For example, Warren Buffett says he reads every morning after his breakfast routine. Or maybe you've noticed how some people always check their phones right after turning off their alarm. There's a habit stack in action.
So, the secret is making your habits easy to remember and link together using what you already do as a trigger. It's smart, efficient, and builds lasting routines without stress. Next, we'll get practical and talk about how to build your very first habit stack. We'll go step by step so you can create habits that fit your lifestyle perfectly. Let's get hands-on and build your first habit stack. This part is really exciting because it turns the ideas we've talked about into something you can use every day. So, how do you start? First, you need to identify a habit you already do regularly, something consistent like brushing your teeth, making your bed, or drinking water in the morning. Yeah, the key here is to pick a stable habit, one that doesn't change much day to day. This habit will be your anchor, the base for your new habit stack.
Right. For example, if you always brush your teeth in the morning, that's a perfect anchor. The next step is to decide what new habit you want to add. It should be small and simple, think 5 minutes or less to start. Once you know your anchor habit and your new habit, it's time to create a clear connection between them. Instead of vague ideas like, I want to exercise more, make it specific. After I brush my teeth, I will do 10 jumping jacks. Notice how this after I brush my teeth part acts as the trigger. It tells your brain exactly when to start the new habit.
That's a great tip. The trigger needs to be obvious and easy to remember. Using words like after or before helps make the link strong.
Absolutely. Another trick is to write down your habit stack statement. Writing it down makes it feel more real and can help you stay committed. Now, start small and focus on consistency. It's better to do your new habit every day for just a minute than to try a big change that's hard to keep up. For instance, if you want to read more, start with reading just 1 page right after your morning coffee. The important part is that you do it regularly.
And don't worry if you miss a day or two. The goal is progress, not perfection. If you slip up, just start again the next day. Habit stacking is forgiving like that.
Yeah, building habits is like training a muscle. It takes time and repetition, but every small effort makes you stronger. Another helpful idea is to celebrate small wins. Even a quick, yes, I did it moment after completing your new habit can boost your motivation. It doesn't have to be big. A smile or a mental thumbs up works wonders.
One last thing, keep your habit stack simple at first. Trying to add too many habits at once can feel overwhelming and lead to burnout. Start with 1 or 2 stacks, and once those feel natural, you can add more. So pick your anchor, choose a small habit, create a clear trigger statement, and keep it simple and consistent. That's the recipe for success with your first habit stack. Next, we'll look at how to use habit stacking to improve your productivity, because who doesn't want to get more done with less effort? Now, let's talk about habit stacking for productivity. This is where habit stacking really shines because it helps you get more done without feeling overwhelmed. Productivity isn't just about working harder, it's about working smarter, and habit stacking is a perfect tool for that.
Think about your typical workday or study session. There are so many small tasks that can easily add up. Checking emails, making a to-do list, taking short breaks, or organizing your workspace. Habit stacking helps you build routines around these tasks so they become automatic parts of your day. For example, after you turn on your computer in the morning, you might take a minute to write down your 3 most important tasks for the day. This small step sets the tone for focus and keeps you on track.
The trick is to connect new productive habits with something you already do naturally. Maybe after you pour your morning coffee, you review your calendar or plan your schedule. Or after finishing a work task, you take a quick 2-minute break to stretch or breathe deeply. These small habits boost your energy and focus without interrupting your flow.
Habit stacking can also help fight procrastination. When you tie a difficult or boring task to an easy habit, you reduce resistance. For instance, after I sit at my desk, I will open my notebook and write one sentence. Starting small makes it easier to get going, and once you start, momentum often carries you forward. Another productivity tip is to use habit stacks to manage distractions. For example, after you silence your phone, you can set a timer for focused work or clear your desk of clutter. These little routines create an environment where concentration feels natural.
And here's a bonus. Habit stacking helps build a rhythm to your day. When your productive habits happen automatically, your brain gets into a flow state faster. Flow is when you feel fully focused and time seems to fly by. Habit stacks can be your ticket to that zone.
I like that. Instead of wasting energy deciding what to do next, your brain already knows the sequence. This reduces decision fatigue, which is when you get tired from making too many choices. Remember, the best habit stacks for productivity are simple, clear, and connected to your current routines. Start with small actions and build on them over time. For example, stacking a 5-minute daily review after lunch can help you reflect and adjust your plans easily.
And don't forget to celebrate your progress, even the small wins. It's those little moments that build confidence and keep you motivated. Next, we'll see how habit stacking can improve your health and wellness, helping you feel better in body and mind. Let's explore how habit stacking can improve your health and wellness. Taking care of your body and mind often feels like a big task, but habit stacking breaks it down into simple, manageable steps. Small daily habits can make a huge difference over time. For example, after you brush your teeth at night, you might drink a glass of water. This small habit helps keep you hydrated, which is important for your skin, energy, and overall health.
Or, after you get home from work, you could put on your walking shoes and take a 10-minute walk around the block. Linking it to your arrival home creates a natural reminder, making it easier to stick with. Habit stacking is great for fitness because it helps you start small and build consistency. Maybe after you change into your workout clothes, you do just 5 push-ups or stretches. That's enough to get your body moving and your mind ready for more exercise later.
It's also useful for mental wellness. For instance, after you turn off your computer in the evening, you could take 2 minutes to practice deep breathing or write down something you're grateful for. These habits help reduce stress and improve your mood. Another way to use habit stacking for health is improving your nutrition. For example, after you pour your morning coffee, add a habit of eating a piece of fruit. This small addition helps bring more vitamins and energy into your day.
And because the new habit is linked to something you already do, it feels less like a chore. Your brain expects it, so it's easier to follow through. Habit stacking also helps with sleep. For example, after you set your alarm, you could spend 5 minutes reading a book or turning off screens to help your body relax. Over time, this helps improve your sleep quality, which affects everything else in your life.
The key is to start with tiny habits that feel doable and fit your lifestyle. Trying to change too much at once can be overwhelming, but habit stacking lets you build wellness habits step by step. So whether it's moving your body, eating well, or caring for your mental health, habit stacking makes it easier to create lasting changes that add up to a healthier you. Up next, we'll talk about common mistakes people make with habit stacking and how to avoid them. Even though habit stacking is simple, it's easy to slip into traps that slow your progress or cause frustration.
One big mistake is trying to add too many new habits at once. It's tempting to want quick results, but piling on 5 new habits after your morning coffee might backfire. Your brain can get overwhelmed and you might give up.
Right. It's better to start with one small habit and master it before adding another. Building a habit stack is like planting seeds. You want to give each one time and care to grow strong. Another mistake is choosing weak or unclear triggers. For habit stacking to work, the anchor habit must be something you do consistently and remember easily.
If the trigger is too vague, like, I'll do it sometime after breakfast, your new habit might get lost or forgotten.
Yeah, and sometimes people pick a habit that isn't really part of their daily routine, which makes it hard to stick to. For example, if you say, after I drink my green smoothie, but you don't drink one every day, the stack won't work well. It's also common to set new habits that are too big or difficult. Habit stacking works best when the new habit is very simple, just a few minutes or less. If you try to add an hour of exercise or complicated cooking right away, you might feel discouraged and quit.
So keep your new habits tiny and manageable. You can always build on them later once the habit becomes automatic. Remember, small wins lead to big changes over time. Another trap is forgetting to celebrate your progress. Habit stacking isn't just about doing actions, it's about building positive feelings around those actions. If you ignore your achievements, you miss out on motivation.
Absolutely. Even a quick good job to yourself can make a difference. Celebrating helps your brain associate the habit with a reward, which makes it stick better. Finally, people sometimes fail because they don't track or review their habits. Without checking in, it's easy to lose focus or let habits slip away. Using a journal, app, or a simple checklist can help you stay on track and notice progress.
So, the big takeaways: start small, pick strong triggers, keep habits simple, celebrate wins, and track your progress. Avoiding these common mistakes makes habit stacking smoother and more effective. Up next, we'll explore how to take habit stacking to the next level and create powerful routines for long-term success. All right, now that you know how to build habit stacks and avoid common mistakes, let's talk about taking habit stacking to the next level. Once you've mastered simple habit stacks, you can start creating more advanced routines that really boost your life. Think of it like building a bigger ladder. Your first habit stacks are the bottom steps, and now you're ready to add more steps and reach higher. You can combine several habit stacks or make longer chains of habits that flow smoothly.
For example, you might have a morning habit stack. After you wake up, you make your bed, then stretch for 2 minutes, then write a quick to-do list. This creates a powerful start to your day that feels automatic. At this stage, you can also start stacking habits in different areas of your life: work, health, learning, and relationships. By organizing your habits this way, you create routines that cover many parts of your day without extra effort.
And here's a cool idea. Use habit stacking to build anchor habits that support many other habits. For example, regular exercise can improve your mood, energy, and focus, which makes it easier to stick with work and learning habits too. Another way to level up is to pair habit stacking with goal setting. You set clear goals, then use habit stacks as the daily steps that move you toward those goals. This turns big dreams into tiny, doable actions that happen naturally.
Plus, you can make habit stacking fun by adding variety or rewards. Maybe after a week of completing your habit stacks, you treat yourself to something small like a favorite snack or extra break time. This keeps motivation high. Remember, long-term success comes from patience and consistency. Habit stacking isn't magic, it's about steady progress. But the good news is that once habits are stacked and running smoothly, they free up your brain for more creativity, learning, and joy.
So keep building, keep experimenting, and keep celebrating the wins, big and small. Your habit stacks can become the foundation for a happier, healthier, and more productive life.
Thanks for sticking with us through this journey. We hope you feel inspired to start stacking habits today and watch how your life changes step by step. Now let's wrap up with a helpful vocabulary table to review some useful words from our conversation.
Vocabulary list. Habit. Noun. Habit. A behavior repeated regularly. Brushing your teeth is a healthy habit. Stack. Noun or verb. Stack. To pile things, to add one habit after another. I stack my new habit right after my morning coffee. Trigger. Noun. Trigger. A cue that starts a behavior. The alarm clock is my trigger to start my routine. Routine. Noun. Routine. A regular way of doing things. My exercise routine helps me stay fit. Momentum. Noun. Momentum. The force gained by movement or progress. Once I started reading daily, momentum helped me finish many books. Consistency. Noun. Consistency. Doing something regularly without fail. Consistency is key to building good habits. Anchor. Noun. Anchor. Something stable that supports other things. My morning coffee is an anchor habit for me. Willpower. Noun. Willpower. The ability to control yourself. Sometimes willpower alone isn't enough to keep a habit. Motivation. Noun. Motivation. The reason or desire to do something. Celebrating small wins boosts motivation. Procrastination. Noun. Procrastination. Delaying or postponing tasks. Habit stacking reduces procrastination. Flow. Noun. Flow. A state of full focus and enjoyment. When I'm in flow, work feels easy and fun. Decision fatigue. Noun. Decision fatigue. Mental tiredness from making too many decisions. Habit stacking reduces decision fatigue. Progress. Noun. Progress. Movement forward toward a goal. Tracking progress keeps me motivated. Reward. Noun. Reward. A positive result or benefit from an action. The reward for my habit is feeling proud. Slip up. Phrasal verb. Slip up. To make a small mistake or fail briefly. If you slip up, just try again tomorrow.